Hello, patriotic warriors, and thank you for joining me today. Kyle Rittenhouse's saga keeps on continuing, and Joe Biden just keeps getting himself into trouble. Ted Wheeler doesn't want the Portland Police Department to be deputized anymore because they're arresting too many Black Lives Matter and Antifa. And Donald Trump's message to the Proud Boys prompted the Proud Boys to go, well, okay. We'll get into this and much, much more. Let's get started.
All right, everybody, let's get started because attorney for Kyle Rittenhouse demands the Biden campaign retract false accusation that his client is a white supremacist. Joe Biden just keeps getting himself into trouble. And the left, for some reason, has to keep on this white supremacist bandwagon. Joe Biden did a campaign ad denouncing white supremacists, wanting to know why the president wouldn't denounce white supremacists. And one of the faces that was in this campaign ad was Kyle Rittenhouse. And Kyle's lawyer is pissed. Filed a lawsuit. They are now suing Joe Biden in court because even the Anti-Defamation League says there's no evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist. Let's read. The attorney for Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old facing murder charges for killing 2 people and wounding a third during a Black Lives Matter riot in Kenosha, Wisconsin last month, is formally demanding that the Biden campaign retract an accusation that his client is a white supremacist. In the tweet posted Wednesday morning, the attorney, Lynn Wood, warned that he is preparing a formal demand for the public retraction in response to a post former Vice President Joe Biden on his Twitter account. Formal demand for public retraction is being prepared for Biden-Harris campaign on behalf of Kyle Rittenhouse, he wrote. I also hereby demand that Joe Biden immediately retract his false accusation that Kyle is a white supremacist and a militia member responsible for the violence in Kenosha. This case is still going on, and he's only 17 years old. There's no evidence whatsoever that this kid is a white supremacist. There's no evidence whatsoever that he went out there to murder people. And they just keep on going. There's no other way to put it. President of the United States refused to disavow white supremacy on the debate stage last night. Wood's tweet included a screenshot from Biden's campaign video in which the Democratic challenger asserted there's no other way to put it. The President of the United States has refused to disavow white supremacist on the debate stage last night. Now, if you remember, that exchange was between Chris Wallace, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, and Chris Wallace brought up Kenosha, and I would say if they don't retract this, they'll probably go after Chris Wallace as well because this is a pending case and the kid's only 17 years old. So yeah, the Biden video focuses a segment from the 2020 presidential debate in which the moderator, Chris Wallace, asked President Trump to condemn white supremacist and militia groups. As the remarks are played, images of supposed white supremacist gatherings flash across the screen. At the 13-second mark, a picture of Rittenhouse is displayed. The left in this country has gone absolutely insane. They cannot help themselves from accusing everybody of white supremacy. Okay? They tried it in the Nick Sandmann case. They tried to smear that kid, and he ended up getting $80 million from CNN. So if they don't stop it with Kyle Rittenhouse, they might be paying up again. And I'd say Chris Wallace right now, man, you need to go after him too because he is the one that accused you of being a white supremacist because he's the one that brought up the shooting in Kenosha. You need to do that. The U.S. Attorney for Oregon rejects Portland mayor's demand to remove deputized status of police officers. Let's read this one because he shot himself right in the foot. He shot himself in the foot, and I warned him. I took to Twitter, put it on Twitter. You're shooting yourself in the foot, Ted. Because as soon as the Proud Boys leave, then all of the Antifa and Black Lives Matter are going to start getting federal crimes, and it's going to go right around the DA. You don't know what you're doing, man. You don't know what you're doing. The mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler, demanded that the U.S. Attorney for Oregon remove the deputized status on some police officers in Portland. This deputized status allows those who assault local cops to be federally charged. Is Ted Wheeler saying that he wants to allow people to assault his police officer? That is insane. In a scathing press release, Billy J. Williams, U.S. Attorney District of Oregon, and Ross Berger, U.S. Marshal for the District of Oregon, provided an explanation as to why the needs to have deputized police officers and why violence needs to stop. Deputizing police essentially gives law enforcement a support of federal system that will prosecute criminals who vandalize, steal, and kill. Portland has seen the nightly riots for months with seemingly no end in sight. This cross-deputizing has allegedly assisted police in keeping the community safe and ensuring criminals do not merely end up right back out on the street. And they have ended up right back out on the street. That's why I go through the people that get arrested and point out the fact that the DA is just letting them right out of jail. It also seemingly protects officers, as the U.S. Attorney says. The federal deputation supports the frontline law enforcement officers and their families in the way we've not seen from City Hall. Let's see. A poll of Portland police rank and file sworn officers, cadets, and staff shows the vast majority want the U.S. AOR to expand deputization of all sworn officers in Portland. Portland is tired of Antifa's reign of terror. It is time to put these criminals in jail. And I completely agree. We have been for now 130 nights going on, watching the city burn down. People are tired of it. We've had one Patriot Prayer guy shot in cold blood in the chest, and we have seen them beat police officers within an inch of their lives, had their eyes burnt out by lasers, had bricks thrown at them, had Molotov cocktails thrown at them, and they're trying to set these police officers on fire, and the DA just keeps letting them out, and Ted Wheeler just keeps making excuses for them. And even on the debate stage, when Donald Trump said, yeah, I'll go, sure, I'll denounce white supremacy, Joe Biden wouldn't even acknowledge that Antifa existed. This is the disconnect. This is the disconnect, because it's not the Proud Boys romping through the streets, burning things down and ruining people's lives or beating people in the head with baseball bats. It's not the Proud Boys, it's Antifa. And I said yesterday, when you ask somebody if they're afraid of the Proud Boys, either they don't know who they are, or they're not afraid of the Proud Boys because they wave flags. But they do see every single night their city being burned out by Antifa and Black Lives Matter. The Rose City Antifa puts out releases on Twitter and on social media, and they actually have an encrypted app where they communicate with each other where to go and what to do. These people are organized, they've got money, and they are wreaking havoc on American cities. And Joe Biden just brushes it off as if they don't even exist. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's get to the next story. From NBC News, the Proud Boys say they're standing down and standing by after Trump's debate call out. Yeah, they pretty much said, okay. But let's just take a look how NBC News frames this, because it is so funny. It is so funny. Let's start reading. Proud Boys, a far-right extremist group, pledged allegiance to President Donald Trump on Tuesday night after he held the group to stand back and stand by during the first presidential debate. Many people on social media who identify with the group echoed the language, saying they were standing down and standing by. One known social media account for the group made stand back and stand by part of its new logo. They put it on t-shirts. That was so funny. Stand back and stand by. And I just have to say, I agree with the Proud Boys doing this. And here's why. Ted Wheeler's already shot himself in the foot. Kate Brown's already shot herself in the foot. It is high time for the American people to see what's going on in these cities, and if the attention is not put on the Proud Boys, then the people can actually get an understanding of who the violent revolutionaries are. It's not the Proud Boys. Proud Boys wave flags. They're not a white supremacist group. They are just a bunch of guys in a club who go out and wave flags and protect the Trump supporters. They're not violent, anything like that. They don't start them. They don't start the fight, but they will finish the fight. Let's continue. Trump has asked the debate moderator, Chris Wallace, to disavow white supremacy during part of the debate focused on race. Wallace asked whether Trump would urge white supremacist groups that inflamed violence at nationwide protests to stand down. Trump said they missed a part. I showed you the transcript yesterday where he said, sure. He said, okay, yeah, sure. They didn't bother putting that in there. I love that. Trump said, give me a name, when asked to denounce specific group, and former Vice President Joe Biden called out the Proud Boys. But Trump did not denounce the far right or white supremacist groups, and he then pivoted to talk about Antifa. Proud Boys, stand back, stand by. But I'll tell you what, somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing problem. They didn't even bother to mention that Joe Biden said that they don't exist. They're not an organization. This is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Oh, the narrative spinning here. Oh, you got to know that these people were in the newsroom trying to figure out how to take it all out of context so they could get their story that Donald Trump is a racist. See, here's the problem. I've told you before that there is no truth. There's no truth in the media. None whatsoever. It's all about spin. It's all about narratives. It's all about framing. And they will frame anything that Donald Trump says as being racist, homophobic, Islamophobic, anything like that. They will frame it as if he is the asshole and Joe Biden is the righteous leader that we all need, even though he can't figure out where the hell he is most of the time. A lot of conspiracy theories going around about Joe Biden's eyes. Joe Biden's eyes looked weird in the debate, and what some tech gurus are saying was that he actually had these contact lenses in that allowed him to receive information back and forth from his handlers. Now, I don't know about that, but it is a pretty cool concept. I mean, we had Google Glass for a while. Why wouldn't they be able to put it into a contact lens? I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's some of the conspiracy theories that are going around. But this is going to be the most interesting campaign season. We got, 30-some days left until the election. We're not going to know who won election night. Google and all of the tech giants are going to be censoring everything that comes out of Donald Trump's campaign with, quote, fact checks, right? And who are those fact checkers? Yeah, it's CNN and NBC. Yeah. And to our last story, I absolutely love this. Mike Baker puts out a story. This morning, authorities in Portland arrested Proud Boys member Alan Swinney. He faces dozens of charges, including assault, unlawful use of a weapon, and menacing. The only problem is that he's not a Proud Boy. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Proud Boys. They wear a black Perry shirt. They have a uniform. You know the Proud Boys when they come in. They have a infrastructure. They have a hierarchy, and they don't like people claiming to be Proud Boys. So Andy No, doing his due diligence, reached out to the Proud Boys, and they said, we've never heard of this guy. Now, here we are with the media again, putting out a false narrative. I love this. I love this. I love this. He says, I reached out to the organization, and he is not a member. The man is not a member. Let me reiterate this for you people. He is not a member. And I think we're going to go ahead and leave it there. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and support my work by going to shamarisdyer.com. Go to shamarisdyer.com. Buy something. We've got great stuff on that website, and I'm going to try to get another video in today, so we will see you in a little bit.